our playground. So basically, that was like a military camp.
Health and safety did not exist there.
Absolutely.
You sort of had to survive being half naked and changing on a cardboard box in the middle of the market full of people while the stranger held your curtain.
Yeah, why did you go on the street? Why did you go? You shouldn't have. You see, you've learned the lesson now. Gosh, where is the emotional support? Oh my God, poor baby got that blister. And the dude looked on his watch and he said, I can't see. I'm like, oh shit. Something happened to you. You was told off. So that's what you was trying to avoid. Said, oh no, you know. So let's talk about Polish childhood.
Ooh.
Because I think it's completely different to the childhood which kids has got now. I think it was raw, it was hard.
And as my great best friend Evelina mentioned in a previous episode, we are a very traumatized nation. So where does the trauma come from? To the point, a bit of a childhood.
Absolutely. Do you remember, for example, in Poland, we used to play till dark. And our parents was saying to us something, come back before dark.
Oh, definitely.
There was no mobiles, there was no supervision, there was no checking up on us. It was just, if you went outside, basically parents would just kick you out. You got to go play outside. You're not sitting home. You need to get fresh air every day. So that was like a force. You are going outside. Doesn't matter if it's snowing, if it's raining. You know, if it's raining, then you are putting wellies on, you're putting raincoat, and you are going outside, and you just had to stay outside.
But the thing is, that was this rule. You absolutely couldn't come back after dark because then the whole hell will open.
Totally. I remember when I was outside, and basically it was just dark. I was like, I'm going to ask a stranger what time it is. And the dude looked on his watch, and he said, I can't see. I'm like, oh shit, I better go home. He can't even see what time it is.
Yeah, I remember one I came back like really late and my mom like, oh my Jesus, she bless her heart, she thought she's gonna murder me. She was like, Ken, like what did you do? I was so worried. I told you I had one rule. I'm like, I'm so sorry. But me, I always try to create some elaborate story being a child. It wasn't my fault. It was basically because I got sick and then I needed a tablet and I needed to get a tablet from my mom's friend and she wasn't there and yeah, I still got in trouble.
I think another very different thing to what I see now when I see kids, it's our playground. So basically that was like a military camp.
Health and safety did not exist there.
Absolutely. Everything was metal, everything was rusty, there was no soft foams. It was just crazy. And then basically when you hurt yourself, you didn't even go home, or when you come back home, it's like, oh, that doesn't look too bad. Small plaster. Go outside again. Stop whinging.
Stop whinging. Yeah, stop bitching. People have it worse than you. What's the small cut? You're gonna be fine.
And look at that now. Small swings with like a
safety,
like a round thing that child cannot fall out. Everything you can see foam on the ground.
But come on, that was the fun thing. You would swing on the swing as high as you could, and then they would jump off the swing.
Oh yes, we was jumping from the swings, we was climbing the trees, and there wasn't that much entertainment outside, so kids was just creating their own stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like just said, climbing the trees, climbing all bizarre items.
But you know what, health and safety, the funny thing is as well, like obviously I mentioned to you, we had quite a big garden. We had loads of like cherries and different fruits around. So who is the volunteer to get on the top of the tree to get the cherries that are on the top of the tree? The child, aka me, because I'm the smallest. Health and safety, non-existing. But the cherries were delicious.
Yeah, same me. When I went to my grandparents, which they lived in the village, I just loved climbing the trees. So obviously I went into some dodgy tree, which was surrounded by nettles, which were the height of up to here, somewhere like a really wide, huge nettles. And I fell down into them. Oh my God, I was literally whole in the blisters. Seriously, it was so painful. And then what do you hear? Why did you go on the street? Why did you go? You shouldn't have. You see, you've learned the lesson now. Gosh, where is the emotional support? Oh my God, poor baby got that blisters.
The thing is, poor baby didn't exist there.
Nothing like that.
That's your mistake. What did you learn?
Seriously.
You cannot do it again. So it wasn't like, oh,
Something happened to you, you was told off. So that's what you was trying to avoid. Said, oh no, my mom will be pissed or my dad will tell me off.
Yeah.
That's how we learn what we can do, what we cannot do.
Basically, yes.
Back to health and safety. I remember when I was 7-year-old, I was going on my own to the primary school. And although I can't remember, maybe at the time I knew how to read the clock. Probably I did, but what my parents did, they was setting the alarm clock, and they always said, because every day we was going to school at different time and we was coming back at different time. So it's not like it's UK that school starts at, let's say, 9 and finish 3. Every day we had different plan. So my parents was basically setting alarm clock. When the alarm clock rang, I knew I have to go out, lock the door, and walk to school. And it was quite a bit of walk to the school. So again, that was the time that kids was just going alone. And when you was walking, actually, you was meeting all other kids. So
it was about different times. Yes, I know the times change, the safety in general change and everything, but I don't know, it was kind of magical. But you know what I find the most magical? I find the most funny thing, that buying the clothes thing, because back then you didn't really go to there were shops, but we didn't really go to the shops. We would always go to like a market, rynek. And but it was mostly run by Vietnamese people, actually. There was loads of Vietnamese people selling there because the clothes were all right and they were cheap. And trying on the clothes.
Yeah,
to this day, I laugh at it when you think about it, because there was not really a changing room. You in a ground full of different stands with different clothes. So what you're gonna have a small designated area, mostly with like a cardboard box on it. Later on, you actually had the curtain like sort of set up, but at the very beginning, you sort of had to survive being half naked and changing on a cardboard box in the middle of the market full of people while the stranger held your curtain.
Yeah, there was something. I cannot remember. I wasn't really
I find it
trying many
hilarious.
clothes on the markets, being honest. I think my mom she knew how to knit, she knew how to sew the clothes. So I think
my mom knew how to sew the clothes as well, but I don't know, I just keep remembering this trying the clothes, because I think obviously we didn't really have loads of money, so we couldn't, and I don't have any sisters or anything like that, so we couldn't really afford clothes not fitting or anything like that. So that's but the funny thing is as well, in Poland, obviously we have snow, we have different weather conditions, and sometimes those cardboard boxes would be like
soaking wet,
and you would have to stand on them.
Yeah. I mean, it was different times. And what I remember as well was that we didn't have channels with cartoons which were playing 24/7. It was just like, oh, if you want to watch some Disney cartoons, I think it was only on Saturdays.
Yes, I think 7 o'clock in the morning or something.
So
Canal Plus, I think we had it on.
Yeah, later on I think it was. But then you were just waiting all week to watch Disney or watch something. So that was just special. And I think that's what brings that many memories, because everything felt special. Now kids has got access to everything. They can watch cartoons. They can buy as many toys as they want. I mean, they don't play outside that much, because it's not really...
That's weird. I know obviously it changed, everyone is gaming and everything, but it's playing outside, being around kids, having actual interactions.
Though we didn't have any health and safety, let's say, arrangements when it comes to playground and being outside, I think it was more safe. Like, I can't recall any instances that something happened to a child. I think it was more safe. Like now, I wouldn't left a child without supervision anywhere. I wouldn't allow child to go, small child going to school alone, because it's
now
just
the world got a bit messed
safe.
Up. Yeah. And what I also remember is, obviously Poland is kind of a cold country. So I always remember the parents forcing me and my grandma forcing me to wear 3,000 layers of clothes. And the golden sentence that my grandma would always say, you need to cover your kidneys or you're gonna be sick. Kidneys needs to be covered. And now when I think about it, I was very like, oh, I don't want to do it. I'm a teenager. I'm cool. I don't want to do it. Now when I go outside and I see like the chicks half naked or whatever, I'm like, oh, fuck, they should cover their kidneys.
I mean, everything comes back to you, seriously. I don't know if you remember, but did you have a stationary phone?
Yes.
We had a phone.
I still remember the number, by the way.
No, I don't remember now, but we had a phone, like not with the buttons, but it had like a round thingy
Yeah.
bob. You put your finger in the hole and it was just turning and bam, it was coming back. And you pick the number like that. But that's nothing. If you wanted to make a call between the cities, you had to pick up a number to some kind of operator and you had to say, oh, hi, I would like to talk with someone from that city. Which phone number is this, and then this operator, whenever they felt like they was making a phone call to your family member, and then they was calling you, oh, we've got connection.
I don't remember this bit, but I do remember the phone thing.
Yeah.
But I think we didn't really, most of our family lived in the same city, so probably that's why it wasn't the case. But I do remember the phone bills. Oh my God, those phone bills were very monitored. The funniest thing that happened to me is like, so my dad for work, he had to make loads of phone calls. So our phone bills would be always quite high. Me being a teenager, I don't know why, but whenever no one was home, I would ring my best friend at the time and we would talk for hours. Sorry, Mom, we would we would talk for hours about nothing and everything. So our bill would always be high. No one would question it. And one month, the bill comes and it's high, and everyone, there's like a lot of commotion about it. I'm like, what is going on? Why are you guys making a problem of it? We always have a high bill, don't we? Yes, but that wasn't in whole month. I was like, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think everybody did that. Same, I was just hanging on the phone that long till operator called us suddenly in the middle of our conversation. Some operator connects and say, oh, I've got to disconnect this thing, because my dad was trying to call home for like 2 hours and he thought the phone is broken. And then what he did after, he got like a monthly bill and he took a highlighter and he highlighted all my calls and the times. And he said, you spend that much on the phone, I was like, God.
Yeah,
I couldn't say it's not me. I couldn't say it was an error because the phone number which I was dialing, it was constantly the same.
You showed the number as well. Yeah, I know, such a grass.
There was no privacy, seriously. That was the time there was no privacy whatsoever.
But also, yeah, I don't know. It was so. I remember as well because the number showed. It was a situation with like my cousin. So you had those like numbers when you could have ring. There was like naughty lines, whatever. And he was a teenage boy. So obviously he must have rang once, but they were like, I didn't really ring, but I know that they were apparently very expensive.
Crazy. It was something like £1 per minute.
Yeah, it was very, very expensive, obviously. But him being a teenage boy, obviously he would be curious. I don't know. And he rang once, and their bill came obviously very high. And again, my uncle highlighter, who rang this number? Who rang this number? It wasn't me. It wasn't your mother. You're the only one here. And bless his heart, he was so embarrassed as well.
And those bills were showing everything, the numbers you called, the times you called them. So you couldn't really deny they knew you were home, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it was
I think growing up in Poland was absolutely amazing. We've got a lot of good memories. And yes, if I could go back for a day and be a child, then
I think it would be awesome. And what are your favorite memories? Do you have any memories that like shaped you? Share them with us in the comments, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.